Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Earrings Off. We want to invite you to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. You can find us on Facebook at Earrings Off Podcast and on Instagram at The Earrings Off Podcast.
Welcome to Earrings Off. I'm Lou.
And I'm Teresa. Let's get started.
Girl, COVID seems to be an endemic now. That's a new term that I've learned.
I was about to say, what? What is that?
Endemic.
Okay.
Meaning that is what the flu is referred to as, because it never goes away. It's always around.
Yeah.
And I better Google that to make sure I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
Don't judge me, folks.
Yeah.
So it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. And I read that Fauci said that it's not a matter of if, it's when.
Well,
we're
yeah.
going to get it.
Yeah, Teresa, I said that to somebody a couple of weeks ago, and they didn't take it well that I said that, because it's like, well, Lou, you're speaking that. But I just think with seeing the numbers that we're now seeing and the way that this latest variant is so easily transmitted, that you can do everything. You can wear the mask, you can try to do the social distancing, but if you live and breathe and you have to go anywhere, it's like, okay, it's out there. You're going to get it, because I'm hearing about people who are being so cautious, and still they are, they're exposed and they have come down with it. So,
Yeah, what I'm hearing is that with Omicron, it is lasting in the air longer. So
right.
What I've heard was that if a person with the virus is in an area indoors without a mask, that the virus can linger in the air after they've left for about 5 minutes.
Well, you know what? I heard the same thing. I heard the period was longer than that, but I tell you, I was out with my daughter shopping, and we've been out for a little bit, returning Christmas things, and she had a birthday coming up. But anyway, I was getting a little tired standing in the store, but there was a bench and this lady was on the bench. And then when she got up, she didn't have a mask. When she got up, I was like, I'm not going there to sit, because I was thinking about what I'd heard about the virus, lingering in the air. And I just thought, I'm not going near that area, because you just don't know, particularly, like I said, when I saw her in there without a mask. And yeah, it's very, very concerning. And I just now, for my own mental and emotional well-being, I'm still being careful, but now I've sort of moved to the point where I'm thinking about, okay, let's see the plan. Let's think about the plan. If you get it, what should I be doing, so that I don't panic when I hear the word positive, that my mind doesn't spiral, that I have a clear plan of how I'm going to react should I ever hear that word in reference to me
idea.
having the virus. So, yeah.
That's a good idea. It's always, better to be prepared in that way.
Yeah.
But even before you get to that, positive diagnoses, there are some things that we can do, like boosting our immune system.
Yeah.
And hope that will help, because what I'm hearing about Omicron is that it's not impacting the lungs in the way that Delta did.
Yeah, I've heard that.
The way that the initial coronavirus did.
Right.
So it might be a good thing. If people are being impacted like a cold or like the flu. So we know what we do for those things.
Right.
Each flu season, we tend to, boost up on our vitamin C,
Right.
our vitamin D,
Yeah,
our
zinc. Yeah.
exercise,
Yeah.
zinc,
Right.
all those things. You know, it might not be a bad idea to do those type of things
To just get ready.
um,
And of
as
course,
well.
the main thing is you need to get vaccinated. You need to get the booster. Let's start
Absolutely.
there. Because people are being partisan, and there's all this politics attached to it, but the research is showing that if you've had your vaccination, you've had your booster, even if you get it, you are less likely to get seriously sick as a result of it. That
Right.
you may not feel so great, but there's less likelihood that you'll end up in the hospital or that you'll die. We
Right.
we need to start there and just, get your vaccine, get your booster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. And my daughter sent me a meme, and it said something like, if you haven't had your booster, then you're considered unvaccinated."
What?
Something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the two, we know, in the case of Pfizer anyway, that
Yeah.
the efficacy drops tremendously after
Yeah.
4 months. So
Yeah.
if you've not had that booster, then you're not
Wow.
protected,
Yeah.
right?
I have to tell you, my nephew, who is very dear to me,
Mhm.
he was, you know, he was resistant to the vaccine, and I told him I totally understood. You and I've talked about how that was a tough decision for us, because every year when my doctor asked me to take the flu shot, and I just tell him no, haven't taken it, not taking it, because that's just not something I'm comfortable with. Never had the flu, and just concerned about putting that in my body. And that's a personal decision. But so I told him, I said, I get it. I understand. It was a hard decision for me, but now, with all of the medical personnel, a good majority of them that I trust from reputable sources, are saying, no, this is something we have to do, not only for ourselves, but for the nation, for others. And it's our civic duty. That's the way I feel at this point, to so that we can get these numbers down and protect each other. I was very relieved when he sent me a picture of him
Mm,
getting his vaccination, because we've just been through a lot as a family, and just really can't handle the additional stress of being concerned about him or something possibly happening to him. So that just made my day, you know?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same for me. My brother was resistant. My middle brother was resistant to taking it. And my mom, she went through the whole thing explaining to him why it's important. I didn't actually have the conversation with him. In fact, she asked me not to talk to him because she was very close to getting him
Hmm.
to agree to taking it. And she felt me calling him would just push him over the edge.
Right. Right.
The nanny, he should be able to deal with me
Hmm.
talking to him. But anyway, she got him to do it, and he did. He took it, and he's actually looking forward to getting his booster
Yeah.
as soon
Can.
as the time,
Right.
as soon as he can. Yeah, and he's actually a high risk person, but he's made the decision to try to remain at home to prevent himself from getting it. But he's not doing very well with that. So I'm very happy that he did go out and get the vaccine
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well.
Well, and so like you say, we talk first about what can we do to try and keep ourselves in a healthy state or preventive state so that we don't get it. But in the event that we do get the virus, then let's talk a little bit about what happens then. Because like I said, if other folks are like me, even though you've read and you see the numbers and you've heard of other people surviving and all of that, if I have to get the test and it comes back positive, my mind will spiral if I haven't thought about, okay, what does this mean for me and what do I need to do? So, one thing that, I've seen, Teresa, is that in this instance, if you've been vaccinated, you should rest, and before there was
Right.
a concern with the lungs and them telling people, to move more. But now it seems to be the opposite. Is that what you've heard as well?
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even with the Delta, um, with the issue with the lungs, you needed to move.
Yeah.
Sitting still, you wanted to sit still, but you should move.
Okay.
But you can't move as much because of your lungs
Yeah.
being impacted. But
Right.
yeah, moving, resting, you're right, resting, as well as keeping yourself hydrated
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
another one
Yeah.
that I heard. And the rest, I've had several people, well, yeah, three on my team who've been impacted with Omicron,
Uh-huh.
and they described it as, you know, cold and flu-like symptoms.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And
I've had
they were, yeah, they were nasally, and so they took over the counter, what do you call them, antihistamines to
right.
unblock
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
the nose, and they had fever
Mm-hmm.
for a day or two, and they took just over the counter medicine
Mm-hmm.
to address
Yeah,
that.
Tylenol,
And
ibuprofen,
mhm,
right. Mm-hmm.
I pray that if I do get it, that's my experience
Right. I
as
know.
well,
I
that
know.
it's
It's
minimal
mild.
impact, and
Right.
that it's mild, and that it's minimal impact. For
But
sure.
and that's what they're saying people should expect if they've been vaccinated, if they've had the booster, that you may have mild symptoms. But in the event that you get more serious symptoms, like you're having trouble breathing, or you're having some body aches or nausea or fever that won't go away, then you really do need to make sure you're getting in touch with your doctor immediately so that
Yeah.
they can, direct you and treat you so that that you fare well with that
Yeah,
diagnosis. So, yeah.
for sure. And one device that we can all keep in our homes as a result of this, or should keep in our home, is the oximeter,
Right.
so
Yeah. I
that
bought
we
one of
can
those. Yeah.
test what our oxygen levels are. And as I understand it, some of the new fitness watches, if you have a fitness watch, it comes with that meter, so that you don't need to go out and buy a separate device. That's another indicator when your oxygen levels drop,
Mhm.
then you should be for sure contacting your doctor.
Okay. Okay. So are you saying that's like on a Fitbit already?
hmm On the new ones.
Okay, mine
Eh,
is old, so maybe I don't have that, but I did
No, you
buy
don't.
one of those.
You don't. Yeah, you don't. It's not on yours. You and I have the same
You see, I was
Fitbit.
about to say, you see Teresa trying to call me out for my old equipment, but she put herself in there. Okay, I was like, no, I don't think I have that. But yeah, that's something that we need
Why do you
at home.
always think that I'm out to get you? I don't understand that.
It's my own paranoia. That's all. It's not you. It's not
You know
you.
you my
It's
girl.
me. I know, right? It's not you. It's me. So I don't know. Maybe
And
all
there
of this staying in is doing something to
goes the
me.
sarcasm.
It's just not. It's just a lot. It's a lot.
It's,
But
it
anyway,
is
we
a
just
lot.
wanted to
It
share a little
is a
bit.
lot.
We just wanted to share a little bit about always hoping that you stay safe. Our goal is that you don't get it. We don't get it. But in the event that that happens, remain calm, remember that many people are surviving, even though you see the numbers and you see it ticking up, see the numbers ticking up, and that's runs your blood pressure up a bit. Stay calm. And because people are surviving it, certainly, even though the medical personnel, they're being tested even more lately, but it's not as bad as it was at the beginning of this. You should hopefully be able to get the assistance that you need, the answers that you need, the treatment that you need to survive and do well. But even with that, I think a big part of it is, Teresa and I are yogis, but stay calm. Try to remain calm and take some deep breaths and talk to yourself and remind yourself people are surviving. You will survive too. And things will crop up. You can get a cold, you can get a flu, you can Teresa, if I eat shellfish, I'm gonna have an allergic reaction, and that's some rough stuff. So those are similar type of symptoms. You survive that, you can survive it.
The key is, like you said, being prepared.
Be prepared.
Being prepared for when you hear that positive result of a test.
Right. And remember that you don't want to be tested immediately. I think they say wait maybe 5 to 7 days, because you can get a false negative and you actually be positive. There's a time element in that, and you want to make sure you talk to your doctor about that in terms of your testing. But if you've been exposed, make sure you're quarantining, that you're staying away from other people. That's important. Now is not the time to be selfish. Remove yourself so that others can stay safe. That's what we wanted to chat with you a bit about. It's a new year. Unfortunately, we're still dealing with problems from last year and the year before that, but we're all managing, and we are going to get through this together. Do take care and stay safe. Something about that.